Batwoman number 14, written by J.H. Williams III and W. Hayden Blackman, art by J.H. Williams III. Last issue we had Batwoman and Wonder Woman going to meet up with Pegasus, who is a dude, not a horse, and also the son of Medusa. And he came out all super wounded and gross looking. And there's kind of just a standoff briefly before he collapses to the ground because he is really not okay. And Batwoman comes up and examines his wounds and goes into like detective mode, saying like, ah, yes, because of this abrasion and this thing here. She puts together the whole fight scene in her head of Falchion showing up, who is also a son of Medusa, and them just trying to beat the crap out of each other, but Pegasus, of course, coming up on the losing end of that and taking a whole lot of major damage, including multiple sword stabs to his stomach, his head being blasted through glass, and his fingers bitten off. Very gruesome looking, but he has blue blood, so I guess it's allowed. So she walks through the whole thing and just like, yeah, okay, that's great and all. Oh, and he had wings, and now they're cut off. So Batwoman's like, okay, so why'd he do that? And Pegasus informs, because he wanted me to join him and my mother in their big goal thing that they're working towards. And I said no. And he just reveals the plan to him, just like, hey, look, they want death, they want some stuff, and I can tell you where they are right now, but I need you to do me a favor. And Wonder Woman's like, all right, what do you want? And he's like, I want you to kill me, because as a god, these wounds are going to like last forever. Like, it's going to take eons for me to heal. So I just want to die because this is agony. And Batwoman's like, no, we can't do that. But Wonder Woman's like, all right, fine, sure, whatever. So he informs him that the Medusa's currently in Gotham, because of course she is. And Wonder Woman's like, all right, well, thanks, bye. Cuts off his head, gives him a warrior's death. And Batwoman's like upset about it. She's like, there had to be another way. And Wonder Woman says like, look, nobody believes in the gods anymore, not like the old gods. The only way that he could be revived is if people still believe in him. And Batwoman's like, all right, well then I choose to believe in him. So one day he can come back. So she burns his body. Wonder Woman sheds a tear because she's like, did I do the right thing there? I don't know. I'm a little bit iffy on that. So at that point they hop in the bat jet and make their way back to Gotham in order to fight down Medusa. Turns out Medusa's already started her plans, though, because marching through the street is not only Medusa herself, but also La Llorona, Morrow, Bloody Mary, the dude with the hook hand, and did I say Killer Croc? Killer Croc's in there, too, who, of course, at this point is in his mutated state. And Maggie Sawyer and Harvey Bullock are trying to stop them as best they can, but of course they are literal creatures of myth. And we see Medusa doing her thing where she turns an officer to stone and her horse as well. And then we see Nightwing's battling one of them, Catwoman's battling one of them, Mr. Freeze is battling one of them. It's just kind of an all-out on Gotham thing, but it's very much just glossed over. And this whole time we're getting Medusa's internal monologue of like, ah, yes, here's how my elaborate plans have led to now, where my son Falchion created this cult to believe in me, therefore giving me power, and then they found my tomb and allowed me to escape. So, yeah, there's all that. So Medusa steps up to Killer Croc and is like, hey, I'm going to make you even more powerful. And he's like, ah, sweet, let's do it. So they sacrifice some blood and turn him into the Hydra. Like, literally towering over city streets Hydra. And at that point Harvey's about to shoot Medusa from behind, but she's like gonna turn to look at him, and Maggie tackles him out of the way saying like, don't look at her, she's clearly Medusa. And at that point Harvey looks up and sees Batwoman and Wonder Woman jumping out of the jet in the sky coming down, and it's just Batwoman just saying, babe, I'm home. So I like it. I think it was a solid issue. I think that it didn't have a whole lot going on to it, but this has always been a very introspective arc where it's just kind of Batwoman saying, here's how I feel about this, and Wonder Woman saying, here's how I feel about this. Now we're also adding in Medusa's, here's how I feel about this, and I don't know. I think it works. I think the art and the layouts are fantastic. There's never been an issue with that. But it is definitely just I don't even want to say it's a slower paced book because a lot has been happening. It's just kind of it's not sweating the small details, I guess. It's just like, here's the broad strokes of how we got to this point, and then we're just moving on to the next bit. We're not worried about breaking down like, but how exactly did Medusa start her attack? It's like, no, she's just in the middle of attacking. Just you accept that. So I like it. I think it's a fine issue. Overall, though, I'd say probably I'll give it a 7. I'll bump it up to a 7.5. I think that the art is honestly fantastic enough to give it that extra 0.5, and it was given a lot of the points even before that. Writing wise, you gotta be willing to read the prose. You're not going to be able to do this if you're expecting short little speech bubbles. Like, everyone has a few paragraphs all on one page to describe how they're feeling, so it takes some time, but it is good. It is a solid issue. So we will see. I think we only have one more issue in this arc, maybe 2, but we'll see how it wraps up sooner rather than later.